Hey guys, so if you guys have your props and blocks and things, so I have 2 blocks here today. I have my mat, and I also have a blanket that I can sit on, just to kind of boost up my hips a little bit. So we're going to start by placing the block sideways right here in the seated Virasana. Okay, so come have a seat on your block. You can always sit on 2 of them to bring your hips closer together, closer to your heels. And then make sure the ankles are hugging in the block, okay? So the ankles are right around your block here. And we're going to work with the mudra of unshakable trust. So you're going to interlace your fingers and just place them on the belly. This mudra is great for when we're feeling doubtful, fearful, maybe a little bit of lack of confidence, which is probably a lot of that going on right now. So again, we're going to place the mudra right at your belly. Let's close our eyes for a moment and just arrive here. Let's get present and grounded in the moment. Bring the shoulders away from your ears. Let the heart space shine forward. And then take a deep inhale. Breathe right into that belly. Exhale out through your nose. Once again, take a deep inhale right into the belly. And then a full exhale out. I'm going to take that a few more times. Deep belly breathing. Imagine your inhale as an expansion of your belly. Your exhale is a contraction. One last deep belly breath. Gently open your eyes. We're still hugging our ankles to our block here. And then just send your interlaced fingers up above your head. You're going to frame your ears. Keep the shoulder blades down and back away from the ears. And then just reach over towards the right side. Nice side body stretch. And then over towards the left. Once again, reach over towards the right side. Breathe into your oblique, into the side body. And then over towards the left. And then bring the hands out in front of you, keeping your interlace, and round your spine inward. Think cat pose. And then exhale, allow the heart to shine through. Think cow pose. Round your spine, cat pose. Exhale, come into your cow. Good. Now let's do that again. We're going to just undo the fingers first, shake it out a little bit. Okay. And then come back to the interlace and then send it up above you towards the ceiling. And then reach over towards the right. Over towards the left. Round the spine forward. And then come through for cow. Last round, over towards the right. Then the left. Rounding forward. Really tuck the chin into the chest. Bring your belly button close to your spine. Deep inhale, and then exhale, let it all go. Shine the heart through. Maybe the hands come behind your ears. And then come back to a neutral spine. Spread your fingertips nice and wide. Give yourself a big hug here. So much gratitude for our minds, our bodies, our spirits for coming out here onto the mat today. Spread it nice and wide. Expand through. And then opposite hand on top this time as you come into a hug. Wrap your hands around your shoulder blades, tuck your chin in. This time as you expand, just lift up onto your knees, look up at the ceiling, keep your quads nice and engaged, and then come on back down into your seat, wrap your hands around each other. Inhale to lift up, expansion, grow big. Exhale, come back down, this time opposite hand on top to complete your hug. Just a little bit faster, we're going to take 5 rounds of this. Lifting up and rounding in. Inhale to expand. Exhale, come down. You can always have a blanket under your knees here if you have sensitive knees. Last one. Bella's really digging this today, just hanging out. Fully give yourself a big hug, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze everything inward. And then just bring your hands down next to you. Tent the fingertips, reach down for the ground to really lengthen your neck. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. So you can see my fingers are tenting down on the ground. Then keeping those tented fingers, just come out in front of you. Nice simple fold here, okay? Stay rooted in your tailbone, right on your block. Hello, Bella. And relax your head and your neck down. Push into all of the fingers, okay? Excuse me, honey. Thank you. Okay, so we can really build that connection to our earth. Don't hold tension in your neck. Maybe shake a little no, shake a little yes. Look over to the right, look over to the left. Peek on forward. And then walk your hands back onto your heels. And then let's come into a nice tabletop position onto our hands and knees. Okay, so you can take the block out from under you here. Remember to keep the blanket if you need extra support. I'm totally doing that right now. Good. And once we get here, make sure your fingertips are spread out nice and wide. The knees are underneath the hips and the hands are underneath the shoulders. You're going to kick your left leg out to the side, and you're just going to make a few circles here with your knee. Okay? Nice and wide. Tracing a big circle with the knee. And then switch up the direction of the circle, okay? So take it the opposite way. And as you're doing this, keep your core really strong and tight, okay? So you don't upset your lower back. One more big circle right here. And then just kick your left leg out to the side, okay? Give it some energy, maybe a little lift, a little pulse. And then ground in the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Walk your hands back to your heels, place your palms in the mudra of unshakable trust, and reach up towards the sky. And then go ahead and just guide your left hand onto your left knee, reach over to the side, and then come back to the top, bring your palms together. And then once again, reach over towards the left. And come back to your center space. Guide the hands out in front of you. And now keeping this knee on the outside, we're going to make a few circles around ourselves, some Sufi circles around yourself. But keep the leg on the outside here. And just notice here if you're holding any tension, any tightness. Switch the direction of your circle, take it onto the other side. Move with your breath. Come back here to a nice neutral stance. Lift up that left leg. Send it straight back behind you. Reach forward with the right hand as you reach back with your left leg. Take a deep belly breath right here. Lower your hand, lower your knees. Keep your toes tucked. Take a child's pose. Bring your hips back and down. And relax your third eye down to your mat. Come on back up onto your hands and knees. I'm just going to turn to give you a different perspective. But we're going to make circles with our knee on the right side now. So go ahead and lift your right knee out to the side and just make circles on this side. Okay. Start with one direction and then switch it over opposite direction. And then go ahead and kick your right leg out to the side. Ground into the pinky toe edge of your right leg. Come on back up. Find your mudra of unshakable trust. And then send it up towards the ceiling. And then reach over to the right. Rise back up. And reach. Rise on back up. Walk your hands forward. Reach back with your right foot and forward with the left hand. Coming into your bird dog. And then slowly lower your hand down, lower the legs down. Come on down into a child's pose. Ground your third eye down to the earth. Rise on back up, onto your all fours once again. And then from here, guys, we're going to take it to our first downward facing dog. You can absolutely use blocks here if you'd like. I love to do that when I'm first starting off with down dog. And then make sure that your pointer finger is facing forward and your fingertips are really spread out. Hug the triceps in, hug your biceps out, send your hips up high. You can keep the knees bent to start off, okay? Especially if it's first thing in the morning, maybe. Keep your quads nice and engaged, so there's a lifting action of your knees happening. And again, keep the triceps turned in, keep your shoulder blades on your back. And just take a few breaths here. Let's take our dog for a walk. You can bend one knee, bend your other knee. Keep your head and your neck relaxed down. Keep your gaze in between your thighs. Remember that engagement of the quads. And then from our downward facing dog, we're going to just shift our weight forward into a plank pose. Okay? Making sure the hands are underneath the shoulders, reaching back with our heels, giving ourselves plenty of space here. And go ahead and lower your knees down, okay? And then guide your heart space down. So go roll your chest down all the way. We have to move the blocks out of the way. Lower your chin down, slide on forward to your baby cobra. Make sure you're pushing to the tops of the feet. Widen through your collarbone. Slowly lower it down. We're going to take that one more time. Send it up to downward facing dog. Shift it forward into plank. Lower the knees down, lower your chest down, lower your chin down. Slide forward to baby cobra. Root into the pelvis here. And then send it up, downward facing dog. And each time you're just creating a little bit more length in the spine, right? Knees, chest, chin, baby cobra. Downward facing dog. Last round, this time we're going to come forward, we're going to lower it through as one solid straight line, nice and strong, all the way down. Then again, pushing to the tops of the feet, find the lift, do baby cobra. Keep your toes tucked, send it back for a child's pose, all the way back. Take 3 deep belly breaths right here. And come back forward onto your hands and knees. Send it back up to downward facing dog. And then from your downward facing dog, let's go ahead and lift up the right leg. Bend your right knee and open up your hip. Make sure you keep pushing into the right hand. Keep balance, reach down with the left heel. And then shift your weight forward. Place your right foot down in between your hands. We're going to rise up to warrior one. So turn your back foot at an angle. Make sure your front knee is over your front ankle. Bring your palms together and rise on up. Now make sure the front hip points are square, okay? So bring your right hip back a little bit, send your left hip forward. Palms are together up above your head, shining the heart forward. And then go ahead, you're going to parallel your feet now. So parallel the feet. So you come to the center of your mat for a flying warrior. And then you're going to find warrior two at the back of your mat. So externally rotate your left leg and open up to the side. You're doing opposite me, okay? I'm not moving you right now. So warrior two, make sure your hands are nice and aligned. Externally rotating that back leg. Come back to your center for a flying warrior. Then take warrior two to the front of your mat. Externally rotate your right leg. Then come on back down, frame your front foot, hop it to the front of your mat, and fold. Place the hands onto your shins, take a halfway lift. And come on back down to fold. Swoop your hands up high, bring your palms together, take a full body extension. Maybe a slight back bend. And come on all the way back down into a forward fold. Plant your hands onto the ground. Send your right foot back. And then send your left foot back. So we're in a plank pose. And you can lower through as one solid straight line or find chaturanga. So shift your weight forward. Keep your elbows tucked. Lower through halfway. And then come into your up dog. Send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And lift up the left leg, open up the hip on this side, ground into the right heel as you open the left hip. Keep pushing into your left hand. And then place the left foot in between your hands. Find warrior one on this side. Ground into the pinky toe edge of your back foot, bring your palms together and rise up. Keep your hips square. Right hip comes forward, left hip comes back slightly. And then parallel the feet to come into a flying warrior. And then we'll find warrior two at the back of your mat. And then come back to the center to fly. And then open up to warrior two at the front. Come on down, frame your front foot. And then come to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Lift up halfway. Come back down to fold. Raise your hands up high, palms come together, take a slight back bend. Come on all the way back down to fold. Send your left leg back, right leg goes back. And then you take your vinyasa of choice. You can lower through knees, chest, chin. You can lower through as one solid straight line, chaturanga to up dog, or you can take a child's pose. Send your hips back and down. We're we're all going to meet in a downward facing dog. I hope everyone's doing good over there. Let's keep going. Go ahead and lift up your right leg. Open up your right hip. Place your right foot in between your hands. Rise up, warrior one. Parallel the feet, come into a flying warrior. And then open up warrior two on the back. This time we're going to tip it back for a reverse warrior. And then come back to the center to fly. Open up, warrior two to the front. And come on down to frame your front foot. Take your vinyasa of choice. Roll it on through, downward facing dog, and then lift up the left leg. Right away, open up your hip. Place the left foot in between your hands. Rise up, warrior one. Parallel your feet, come into a flying warrior, and then go ahead and open up to warrior two at the back. Tip it back for your peaceful warrior. Keep that front leg nice and strong when you're tipping back for your piece. It has a tendency to come back with us. Bring your palms together, come into your flying warrior. And then open up, warrior two. Come on down, frame your front foot, hop it to the front of your mat, into a forward fold. Keep the knees slightly bent if you need to. Move into a halfway lift. Come back down into a fold. Then swoop your hands up high, find a chair pose. A nice strong seat in that chair. Think rooting down with your heels and lifting up out of your chest. Come on back down into your forward fold. Plant your hands on the ground. Take your left foot back. Take your right foot back. Lower through your way. Then the left leg lifts. Open up your hip. Place the foot down, rise up, warrior one. Just kidding, it's the right foot. Right foot front, flying warrior. Open up to warrior two. Tip it back to reverse. Come into the middle to fly. And then open on up, warrior two at the front. Come on down, frame your front foot, hop it to the front of your mat. Fold. Move into your halfway lift. Back down to fold. Swoop your hands out in front of you, sit down in your chair pose. And then rise on up all the way. Bring your palms together, take a slight back bend. Bring your hands to your heart and find Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet are about hip width apart. Grounding into the four corners of your feet. Deep belly breath. Just a moment of sacred pause. Notice how you feel. Reach your hands above your head. Interlace your fingers into that mudra of unshakable trust. Reach up nice and high. Reach over towards the right. And back to the center. Over towards the left. Back to the center. Come on all the way down, bending your knees into a fold. So you can hop it back, or you can walk it back into a plank pose. And then come into your chaturanga. Take your vinyasa of choice. And we'll meet in downward facing dog here. And then in your down dog, go ahead, walk your hands back to your feet. And when you get there, grab hold of the opposite elbow and sway side to side. Keep your neck relaxed, your head relaxed. So notice how I'm moving my hips side to side to really get into it. And then go ahead and come into a chair pose at the back of your mat. Your feet can be hip width apart. They can also be touching. Toes can be touching. And then go ahead and bring your hands to your heart space. And we're going to just twist over towards the left side. If you find that your right knee's coming forward, shift your hips back a little bit. And back to the center space. Twisting over towards the right. Keep your hands at your heart space. Keep your knees even. Reach up with your elbow. And come on back down into a fold. Walk your hands forward. Come into a plank. And then lower yourself down onto your belly. However you want to get there. And then push into the tops of the feet and bring your palms out in front of you. You're going to just lift up your hands. Maybe lift up your feet for Chalavasana. Breathe here. And then bring your hands back down right next to your shoulders. Push into the tops of the feet. Rise up into an up dog. Send it back down facing dog. And lift up the right leg. Open up the hip on this side. Place the right foot down in between your hands. This time rise up to warrior two. So the back leg is perpendicular to your mat. Swoop your hands up and around. Rise up, warrior two. And then tip it back to reverse. And then straighten out that front light leg as you continue to reach back. Go really, really long. And then come into triangle. So bring your right hand down to your right shin. Okay. Hug your left hip in a little bit, but broaden through the shoulders. And then reach up with your hand. Left hand reaches up. Make sure that back leg is really strong and engaged. My quad's working so hard to support me, and I'm not collapsed down on my hand. Okay, I'm using my legs and my lower body strength and my core to keep me nice and strong and lifted. And then tip it all the way back, bend your front knee into your reverse warrior. Peaceful. You can take a bind here. And then come back to the center, parallel the feet, flying warrior. And take warrior two at the back of the mat. Externally rotate the left leg. Reach out through your fingertips. And then come back to the center like it's a little dance. Back to flying at the center. Open up, warrior two at the front. Come on down, frame your front foot. Hop into the front of your mat. Fold. Move into halfway lift. And then have a seat in your chair. Rise up all the way, palms come together, take a slight back bend, and come all the way back down into your fold. Plant the hands on the ground, you can hop it back to Chaturanga, or you can walk it back. Or you can take a child's pose. Remember, you always have that option, you don't have to take the vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, shift the weight forward, lower yourself all the way down, and find Chalavasana. Lift up your hands, lift up your feet. Lower it all the way down, place your hands back down next to your shoulders, and lift up into your up dog. Take it back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, open up your hip. Place the foot down in between your hands, warrior two. So the right leg is perpendicular to your mat. You rise up all the way. And then tip it back to reverse your warrior. Keep that front leg nice and strong. And then continue reaching back as you straighten out that left leg. And then find triangle pose. Bring your left hand to your left shin. Okay? Keep pushing into the ball of your foot. Hug your right hip in. And then reach up with the right arm. I'm grounding into the pinky toe edge of my right foot. There's a lifting happening of my back arch. And you don't want to collapse on your inner arches. Keep that inner leg line nice and strong. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Keep them on your back. Like you're squeezing a pencil together in between your shoulder blades. And then go ahead, bend that front knee. Take it all the way back. Reverse your warrior. Maybe you take a bind. And then come to the center for flying warrior. Parallel your feet. Come up out of your rib cage. And open up to warrior two at the back. Reach out through your fingertips. Keep your gaze strong. Stay focused in your practice. Rise up to flying warrior. And then open up warrior two right away. Come on down, frame your front foot. Hop into the front of your mat into a fold. Rise up halfway. And then have a seat in your chair. Full body extension, palms come together, reach back slightly. And come all the way down into your fold. Hop or walk it back to chaturanga or your vinyasa of choice. Allow me in downward facing dog. And then just ripple forward all the way down and find that chalavasana. Lift of your hands, lift of your legs. And slowly lift up into your up dog. So the legs come off the ground, chest comes forward, hips come forward. Take it back to downward facing dog. Then go ahead and lower your knees down. Take a child's pose. Relax your head and your neck. Take 3 full deep breaths right here. And then go ahead and just have a seat onto your heels. Okay? You could grab that block again if it suits you. And then come to the center. Remember to keep the blanket underneath your knees if that suits you too. And grab that block. Keep it in between your ankles. And you have a seat. Okay, so we're going to come into a camel. Make sure you're drinking water and stay hydrated. A little dancing camel, okay? So, I'm going to start with the right hand. So I'm going to mirror you this time. Start with your right hand, okay? You're going to just lift and swoop your right hand up and around. And then come on back and have a seat. And then move on to your left hand. Swoop your left hand up and around. And come on back down. Try it again. Swoop your right hand up and around. And have a seat. And switch. Inhale as you grow tall and expand. Exhale as you sit. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you sit. One more round here. And come on back down. Good. This time you're going to reach your left hand up and around, and maybe you could grab hold of your calf. Okay? You can keep your right hand on your back for support. half camel. You can go ahead and have a seat. And then switch. Swoop your right hand up and around. Place your left hand behind you. Maybe you grab hold of your shin. And slowly lower it back down. Good. Now we're going to have the option to come into that full camel. Okay? Okay. So, go ahead, come up onto your shins. So, you're going to swoop that left hand up and around. See if you can come down to your calf. And you're going to do the same thing with the opposite side. Keep your quads nice and strong. Maybe you can grab hold of your ankles. Allow the heart to shine through. Bring your shoulder blades together. Relax your neck. And slowly, maybe place your hands behind you. Have a seat back down onto your block. Place your palms out in front of you. Close your eyes for a moment. Just breathe. Good, we're going to try it one more time. So you have the option to try it again. If you want to take the block out from under you, you could totally do that too. I kind of like it because it keeps me nice and centered and hugged into the midline. Rise on back up. We'll start with the opposite side. So reach up with your right hand. Bring your right hand to your right shin. The opposite hand will follow. Keep your quadriceps nice and engaged. Imagine there was a wall in front of you that you had to kind of keep those quads glued to that wall. And slowly place the hands onto your back for support as you lower it back down. And then find that mudra of unshakable trust. Place it at your belly. Take a few deep breaths. Great job. Now you're going to just take the block out from underneath you and then have a seat onto your booty, onto that butt. Okay? And once you get here, ground into your feet, ground into your hand. Okay? You're going to take an altar pose or like an upside down tabletop. Just go ahead and lift up your hips. Relax your head and your neck down. Slowly lower your hips back down. Keep a slight micro bend in the knee and take a forward fold. Reach up with your hand and lower through all the way down. And then come on back up and bring your left leg in. Keep your right foot nice and active. We're going to come into a simple twist, so just cross that left leg over your right leg. Reach up with your hands. You could wrap your right hand around your calf, or you could bring your right hand elbow to the outside of your knee. And then place your left hand behind you and twist. The left hand is nice and close to your tailbone, so you can sort of use it as support to come and twist a little bit further. Keep reaching out through your right foot. And swoop your hands up and around all the way to the other side and just relax down into a fold. Good, come on back up. Place your left foot on your right inner thigh. Reach up with your hands, twist your torso, come down into your fold, Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. And then as you rise up, bring your left hand down next to your hips and come into a stargazer. So you're going to swoop your hands up high, ground into the pinky toe edge of your right foot. oops, and reach back with the left arm. Bring your frontal hip points forward. And slowly lower it back down. Bring both your legs out in front of you. Shake them out. And then bring your right leg in, cross it on over. Let's take a twist on this side. Reach your hands up high, and then you can either find that hook or you could wrap around. Place your right hand right as close to your tailbone as you can. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Peek on over that right shoulder. And then cartwheel your arms over to the other side. Come on down into a fold. And then come into Janu Sirsasana on this side. So just bring your right foot onto the inside of your left thigh. Reach up, come forward from your heart. So think forward with your heart, forward with your heart, forward with your heart, until you can fold. That allows you not to come and roll back in your pelvis, but come forward. And then into that stargazers, everyone. So just bring your right hand down next to your hip. Ground to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Let the frontal hip points shine forward. Reach back with the left arm. And then come on back down. Lower the heels down. Cross your legs this time. And then lower on through all the way down onto your back. And when you get there, place your feet flat onto your mat. Okay, relax your head down. And rock your knees side to side. Bring your feet as close to your hips as you can, and then bring your right foot to your left knee. And then you're going to thread the needle. So you're going to grab hold of your left thigh, or you can grab hold of the left shin if it suits you. If you find yourself struggling and your shoulder blades are lifting off the ground, then just ground into those shoulder blades and let go of the grip, We can only just make it work like this. You can also place this foot that I'm shaking against the wall, the bottom of the foot against the wall, like you have here. Okay, you can always turn and do it that way. It just gives you a little bit more space and stability to come into this pose. Good. Now you're going to take your right hand, grab hold of the inside of your right foot right here, lower the left leg down, and just come into a happy baby on the right side alone. Okay, so think about bringing your right knee towards your right armpit. And if this is comfortable for you and fairly easy, then you can go ahead and straighten out the left leg just to get a little bit deeper in the right. And then cross this leg over your body and come into a simple twist. You might want to move your hips over to the right a little bit to make it a little more accessible, and then you straighten out your leg. Ground into your right shoulder blade and look over towards your right side. And breathe into that belly. Remember, when you inhale, imagine it's an expansion of your belly. When you exhale, it's a contraction. Last one like that. Good. Come back to the center and bring both your knees into your chest. Make a few circles with your knees. So just tracing your circles to the left with your knees. Then let's take it on to the other side. Bring both your feet down onto the ground. Again, as close to your hips as you can. bring your left foot to your right knee. Time to thread the needle on this side. There's an external rotation going on of this left leg, okay? And then we're going to grab hold of the right thigh or the right shin, whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe put your foot against the wall and you keep your hands on the ground. And you know, both sides tend to be different. For me, my left is a lot tighter and doesn't want to move as fluidly as my right side, just based on like life habits and things like that. So it's nice to just pay attention to some of these nuances as we work to build balance in the body. Then you're going to take your left hand, bring it to the inside of your left foot, and find that happy baby on your left side. Bring your right foot on the ground. You can always straighten out that leg if you want to go deeper. And then the breath creates all the space that you would like in this hamstring over here, so make sure that you're breathing. You can just imagine even breathing into the area where you want to create that space, where you feel that tension and tightness. Visualize it filling up with air. And then shift your weight over towards the left slightly as you cross your left leg over your body and come into a twist on this side. And keep that left leg nice and straight and ground into the left shoulder blade. Look over towards your left side. You guys hear that city traffic? Hopefully you have some background music on. Deep breath. Remember, inhaling right into your diaphragm here. Last deep belly breath. And come back to the center. Bring both your knees into your chest. And then make some circles with your knees, opposite direction. Then take a happy baby, just a regular happy baby. So grab hold of the inside of your feet with your hands. Bring your knees in towards your armpits. Breathe here. And go ahead and straighten out your legs, send them up towards the ceiling. You can point your toes, flex your heels. And hold on to your thighs if it's easier. And then spread the ankles out a little bit and make some circles with the ankles. Switch it on over to the other side. And then slowly lower your legs all the way down. And we're going to come into prepare for our Shavasana. At my last class on Sunday, we took Shavasana up the wall. And there's no harm in doing that. I kind of love doing that. So if you want to take Shavasana up against the wall again, if you're by a wall, highly recommend. You can place a blanket down against the wall. So I'll take you back 1 second. If you want to stay right here in your Shavasana, then you're just going to bring your hands right next to your hips and let the palms face up towards the ceiling. Bring your shoulder blades away from your ears, maybe a couple of times, so you really create that space. Okay? Keep a slight internal rotation of your legs if you can. So there's a stacking happening of our knees and our hips and our shoulders. Okay? And you're just going to hang out here. Take your little nap, a 5-minute nap, well deserved. And then the other option is to go up against a wall. So if you're going to do that, you can go ahead and just nozzle those hips as close to the wall as you can get. Use your feet to help you. Okay? And then You could even take a strap. Where am I strap? There it is. Right? Whatever strap you have. You'll wrap it around your legs. You have one. Okay? Kind of helps with the internal rotation of your leg. And then you can just hang out here, getting as close to the wall as you can. And you can take your Shavasana like this. You can also keep the knees bent and take your Shavasana like this. So wherever you're at right now, we're going to just take a few minutes to breathe and stay still. Feel the effects of the practice just sinking in. Notice the space that you created. Notice what feels different, how you feel different after moving your body. It's so easy to get stuck in our day-to-day, especially when we're all working from home. So just taking some time to move the body will be so beneficial for the mind. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Deepen your breath slightly. Come back to the present moment. If you're on your back or against the wall, you can go ahead and turn to your left or right side. Take a fetal position. And then come make your way up to a comfortable seat at the front of your mat or wherever you're sitting on. And then we'll come to Anjali Mudra, Mudra of prayer. Bring your palms together. And we're going to end class with 3 Oms today. We're going to start with just taking a deep belly breath, clearing my throat a little. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale for Om. Last one. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your hands to your third eye, bowing down. Hands to your heart space. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste. Thank you guys. If you have any questions or anything about what we did, feel free to DM me or send me a message. All my classes will be uploaded on YouTube, so if you want to practice later, feel free to do that too. I'll be back here on Saturday at 10:30. And yeah, again, any comments, recommendation, let me know. I'm still pretty new at this, so I appreciate your feedback. You can send any donations, which we're so grateful for, any donations you'd like to make to Beach Yoga SoCal. You can Venmo at Beach Yoga SoCal. You can use Cash App, which is just $sign with Beach Yoga SoCal, or PayPal, which is info@beachyogasocal.com. Thank you so much. All the money just goes towards paying permits and keeping Beach Yoga alive while we're getting through this phase in our lives right now. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye. Mwah. Hazel. Bye.